Hello everyone, Brother Yubby here, and I will be bringing you my Week 1 UAPB Teambuilder and Match. So, if you don't know what happened before, the UAPB was a league that I was initially accepted into for their second season. We were uploading and we were in week 5 or 6 when a lot of people dropped out and we needed to reboot the league. So we have redrafted. You see my draft on the right. It's on the right on the bottom, the Amherst Accelgors, and you see my opponent's draft on the right up on the top, and he is the Chestnaughts. So the team that I am bringing is my Megalodios, Tornadus Therian, Infernape, Sylveon, Alolan Ninetales, and Rotom Wash. So my initial thought into this match was he really doesn't have a good switch in it to Tornadus, especially a Stallbreaker Tornadus with Taunt and Hurricane or Air Slash. I hate Hurricane, so I'm running Air Slash. And then Focus Blast is basically there for the Empoleon, and U-Turn for general momentum's purposes. Then I'm bringing Megalodios. It's a Calm Mind Roost set. The only two moves I really need on it are Psyshock and Thunderbolt. I don't need Dragon coverage. Psyshock and Thunderbolt hit his entire team for either neutral or super effective damage. Infernape is a Swords Dance, Fightinium Z, Close Combat, Flare Blitz, and U-Turn set. At +2, an all-out pummeling from this Infernape has a chance to OHKO his Suicune, depending on his investment and depending on any chip damage I'm able to get. Then I'm bringing a Kebiaberry Sylveon. So the Kebiaberry is there so that I can take on the Haxorus and the Hawlucha much better. The 244 defense with max HP, bold nature, make it so that I am able to live a +2 acrobatics after rocks damage with the Sylveon from the Hawlucha. And it also just allows me to take on the Haxorus a lot better, and I'm able to Hyper Voice and OHKO both of them. Then I am bringing Alolan Ninetales, Light Clay, Aurora Veil, Blizzard, Toxic Encore, very straightforward Encore to stop him from setting up if he decides to, or to make sure he keeps doing it so I'm able to do what I need to do to stop it. Blizzard because he doesn't really have a good water type other than Suicune, and Suicune I'm not going to be hitting hard with a Freeze Dry anyway, so I'd be better off just Toxicating it. And then Aurora Veil is Aurora Veil. And last but not least, Rotom Wash. It is pretty much a Spadef Rotom Wash. It allows me to take on the Necrozma better, especially if it's special, and I'm able to basically just burn things as much as I want and get as much momentum as I can. Alright, and now we will jump into the match. We will see that he brought Necrozma, the Mega Venusaur, Suicune, Mandibuzz, Hawlucha, and the Haxorus. So we will jump right into this match. So right away, I decide to lead with my Tornadus. He doesn't have a great switch in. Mandibuzz comes out. I'm able to taunt it, stop him from Toxicating me, and I just get an Air Slash off as he decides to U-turn out. Now, he decides to go into his Suicune. I'm perfectly fine just taunting this and making sure he can't start setting up or do anything weird. He's going to make a good play and go for Ice Beam, but I'm able to just U-turn right out of there and get my Regenerator back. And I can go right into my Rotom. He ends up getting a burn with this Scald, which is slightly unfortunate. It's just going to nullify my leftovers, but it's okay. It happens. And then I'm able to just get a burn. I pretty much knew the Venusaur was coming out, and I decided I wanted to burn it since I wouldn't be able to Toxic it later. And I can just get a free Volt Switch here, assuming he didn't have much speed in him. And I get right into my Ninetales. I could take anything he wants to go for. He goes for a Sludge Bomb. Good play. I was actually going to be able to take a Sludge Bomb plus a Giga Drain plus Sludge Bomb, so it was good on him to go for Sludge Bomb and basically be able to 2-hit KO me, but I decided to get up my Veil and start breaking his team down. So basically my idea here was I can either go into my Megalodios or my Infernape in order to start breaking down his team so the rest of my team can finish up, and so basically Tornadus can finish up with Life Orb Air Slash. Looking back on it now, I feel like I should have gone Infernape. I would have been able to get a free Swords Dance up, and assuming the Suicune was going to come in, I could have pretty much O-coded with a Titanium with an all-out pummeling. We shared sets after the match, and it was actually going to be a very good chance to O-code with it. So, but I ended up going into my Latios, and I'm just free to set up a calm mind here. And here, if he is max fit F variant, which he was, Thunderbolt was not an OCO, and I decide it's in my best interest to get him to +2. I know he can toxic me. I know he could foul play me. I know he could knock off me. All of which are going knock off and foul play are going to be doing about between 30 and 50%. And toxic is just going to be annoying, but I'll be able to start really breaking through his team. So I'm able to get up to +2, and he does toxic me. There. But basically here I get a kill, and Thunderbolt's going to be able to easily OHKO the Mandibuzz from there. And then he brings in his Hawlucha, and without his Unburden boost, Psyshock is going to be an OHKO, and I still outsped. So he then brings in the Suicune. I expect him to actually pull a switch into the Venusaur, and I Roost up here. And I thought right there Roost was definitely my best option, even if he had Roar, because he was going to Roar me out, and my Toxic turns are going to start back over, and I would have been able to bring this back in and start getting a lot more damage off as well. But here, I can just Psyshock twice on the Suicune. Psyshock on the Suicune is a 2-hit KO at +2. So I'm able to now take out the Suicune as well. And Latios basically just gets one more big hit off before it dies. And it's able to take out the Venusaur as well. So right here, it's looking like I'm in a really good position. I can just go right into Tornadus. I can taunt the Necrozma if it comes in, and I can U-turn out on the Haxorus if it comes in. Basically, what that little montage of Mega Latios running through his team told me that his Haxorus was not scarfed, and I really misplay later in the match because I knew this, and I thought this when it was happening, and something ended up happening in real life that basically took my complete attention away from this match, and I completely forgot, and then I became afraid of the Scarf Haxorus again, and it basically lost me the match. But he brings in his Necrozma, and I'm able to taunt it. I assume he's going to be set up, and he is Rock Polish, which is very scary. Brings in his Haxorus on my Air Cutter. Air Cutter is a very clean 2-hit KO, and since I EV'd to outspeed this, I knew I could, but I was fearing a Scarf. But right here, my play to win was just to kill this, and then I could taunt the Necrozma, and it really couldn't do anything to the rest of my Pokemon. I could go into Infernape, I could Flare Blitz it to the point where it was very low, and then I could have gone into Rotom. Rotom could have Volt switched into Sylveon. Sylveon could have Hyper Voiced, and I would have won right there. Probably a 2-0. Or better. But here, I switch out because I knew I needed Tornadus to take on the Necrozma, and I didn't want to lose it to a Scarf Haxorus. And unfortunately, he gets to set up Dragon Dance, which basically means I am sacking my Rotom here. But also, I want to point out that Sylveon easily takes anything from this. Poison Jab, Cabbie Berry pops, it only does 38%. I kill with a Hyper Voice. Now, this next turn is very imperative. So, if you watched through my team builder, you know I have Toxic. And I know that this is a setup Necrozma, and I have to, my only way of winning is to Toxic it, Wish, and then to Protect, and make sure that the Toxic damage is going to wear it down when my Sylveon goes down. So, I go for a Toxic as he Rock Polishes, and I miss. That is huge, because right here, with a Z Photon Geyser, he did not kill me. And I could have wished, and then I would have been able to protect the next turn. But you'll see here, I have to go for Toxic again as he gets to +1. Now, his Z Photon Geyser kills me. But there's nothing I can really do about it. Hindsight 2020, I should have protected here to get a round of Toxic off, but I didn't. I went for a Wish, and He ends up is able to kill me with the Shattered Psyche. Nothing I can really do about that. And I go into Tornadus. I'm able to U-turn, but not before he does enough damage to where my Life Orb is going to take myself out. And that is basically going to be the game. He's going to easily outkill my Infernape with this. So he gets a nice little sweep at the end with Necrozma. It was a good game. I wish I could say that my entire match was in it, or my head was entirely in the match, but that is no fault to him. He played a very good game, and he played his win conditions really, really exceptionally. But we are going to be able to hopefully bounce back next week, and I want to say good game to Alpha, and I basically want to say that I'm sorry for whomever I let down, all like 5 of you. So you will see me next week, and thank you very much. Have a great day.